Hey there, I'm Chrystal, and I'm so glad that you're joining me. You're either watching me or listening to me. If you're new here, welcome. I am here releasing videos every week, the goal of which is to help you live your life well. Sometimes you get me solo, sometimes you get me with a friend, a sister, or a brother that I bring into the sister circle, but often it's me with a cup of coffee or tea, sharing encouragement that I pray will bless your life. Because I really believe that if you want to live a life that you love, you got to live it on purpose. You have to pay attention and you have to live with intention. Now, normally I'm here sharing content, but this week I'm going to do a little something different. So I'd love for you to hang in there with me because there's some really important things that I want to tell you about. Number one, it's December. And usually about this time for the last few years, after we release our Christmas collection episode, we kind of go under the radar. Some years it's been totally quiet. Some years I've just been releasing episodes from the archive. Some years I've still popped up and done some new stuff. The goal this year is to slow things down a little bit so that we can prepare for 2024. So what does this mean if you're a podcast listener? There are no new podcasts coming out until January. What does this mean if you're a YouTube watcher? There will be content from the archives shared on YouTube. So if you're a podcast listener and you miss my voice or you just want to watch me or maybe just listen to YouTube in the background, come on over to YouTube because we'll still be releasing videos. They'll just be videos from the archive that we think should see the light of day again. Now, I have a piece of paper in front of me, y'all, because I don't want to forget to tell you any of the important stuff. While there will be videos coming out on YouTube, we are going under the radar so we can plan and prepare. Things have gone really fast and furious over the last few years. I started this YouTube channel with much chagrin, but when the pandemic happened, I had already been preparing to learn how to use YouTube. I had gotten my camera, I had gotten my equipment, I had practiced with my streaming software, got myself a ring light, took care of all my tech, just wanted to set myself up to put my best foot forward. Literally everything was set up and the pandemic happened. I was sitting in a house before this house that I'm in now, and I was sitting in a small Elfa desk from the Container Store in the corner of a room with a brown door behind me. And I just clicked the button and went live every day for 3 months. Because of that, not only has our YouTube channel grown, our podcasting has grown, our email list has grown, our Inner Circle membership has grown too. And as we enter 2024, I'm really taking a look at what we've built and what we want to build. And we want to make sure we're prepared. Now, what does this have to do with you? Well, first of all, I want to take the time this evening to make sure I'm telling you very clearly what's coming so you can be thinking about it and kind of have something to chew on. But the second thing is I want to tell you why, and I want to start with the why first. When I started my membership back in 2019, when I went into 2020, I think we had like 80 something members, and I had some goals that I wanted to reach at the end of 2020. Let me tell you how I was going to do that. I was going to go live once a month. Not once a day, not once a week, not twice a week, once a month. The reason is because I wanted to have a strong level of teaching and training and mentoring where I could go deep with the women who were in the membership. Because of the pandemic, I have ended up doing a lot more. I've had interns year over year who have helped to grow this ministry, this encouragement channel for you. And here we are, me doing a whole lot more than I'd ever planned to do. Now, what does this mean? When you are building a house, you got to pay attention to the materials that you're using, the tools that you're using, the contractors that you're using, the resources that you're using. Because if you cut corners, or if you build too fast, or if you do it sloppy, or if you don't have dependable people who know what they're doing, you can build a house, but it won't last. I want a house that will last. And 2024 is about looking at hitting the reset button on how we build. Now, you need to understand that I'm not going to change too much, but I am going to add a few things and shift a few things. Back in 2021, we had a pipe burst during the Great Snowmageddon, where all of Texas had so many struggles in different pockets. And not only did that water pipe break, but the water went everywhere in my home. We had to rip up flooring in a home that we'd only been in for 6-7 months. We had to get furniture shifted. We had to paint. We had to repair walls. We had to redo wiring. It was crazy. And because the whole world blew up at that time in Texas, because Texas is its own world, getting contractors was really hard. We lived for a long time with exposed wiring and walls and warped floors and paint that was chipping and peeling, just to name a few things. What I have learned in this redeployment of our reconstruction repair journey is that if you move too fast, you'll make mistakes. Case in point, I needed to paint the areas that was messed up. But if I would have painted that one area, the other areas would have looked like they didn't match. So I was advised to repaint my whole living room, my whole entryway, and my whole kitchen. I picked a paint. The guy we were working with moved on from that construction company, and a new guy came. No problem. He was great. So I dug around in my phone, found the text with the paint color, and sent it to him. I sent him one of the paint colors I had considered, but not the right one. And I did not discover that until 2/3 of the paint job had already been done. And I just kept looking and thinking, this isn't the right color. Do you know what happened? I had given the original contractor 2 paint colors. And when I was giving the new contractor the one, I was moving too fast and gave him the wrong information. I've had so many mistakes made with this construction project, and every single time it was because I was anxious to move forward and I wasn't taking my time to put the plan together brick by brick to build or reconstruct slowly. If you're moving too fast and if you're not using the right materials, you'll have things growing in your life, moving in your life, building in your life, but they won't be the right things. The focus for me for 2024 is being more intentional with how I teach you to build your life. You're going to notice this everywhere. You're going to notice it on the podcast. You're going to notice it with the blog because I need to write more, plan to write more. You're going to notice this if you're an Inner Circle member in an amazingly deep way. And what I really want is to make sure that what I'm putting out there helps you to build your life brick by brick, step by step with intention. So in order for me to do that, there's a couple of things that I want to tell you about. Number one, the Inner Circle. It's my heartbeat. We are going to have a plan for the year. You will know every single month what the focus of the month is. We'll talk about what the building blocks of your life should be. Of course, your spiritual development. We're going to be talking about your emotional stability and anxiety, your body image, financial freedom, relational health, just to name a few things. But it will be mapped out. You'll know for the whole year where you're growing and where you're going. Why does this matter? Because not only will I be teaching and bringing others in to teach, we're going to give you a downloadable guide. This is if you're in the membership. So that not only are you able to listen to me, but you're able to do the work. Easy work, but work still. Work that gets your mind engaged on what you're supposed to do in your life with the information that you received. Activation. That's what I'm after. Not just motivation, but I want you to be activated into your life. And the Inner Circle will be an amazing place to be if in 2024 you want to learn how to build your life brick by brick. There are currently 3 levels in the Inner Circle, and that is the community level, the connection level, and the coffee level. Here's what you need to know if you're not in there. Those levels will close January the 8th. Can you tell them a choir director? They will close January the 8th. Why? Because since I'm being intentional with the growth plan for 2024, I really want those who want to be with me for 24 to be in there. I want you to decide, do you want to be in? And if you want to be in, I'm excited about it, but we're going to close the doors on January the 8th because normally throughout the year when people are in and out, it creates an administrative load for my team, and we want to take all of our energy and focus on those who are committed. Now, I realize that not everybody can do the cost of the inner circle. It ranges from $39 to $139 per month, but you do get 3 months free if you sign up for a year, and you get free gifts. I know that everybody can't do that, but I know that there are those of you who want more than what you get for free on YouTube. So what we're going to be doing is creating and adding another level. Y'all, it's called the club level. Basically, you want to come to the party and you want to go home. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to go to the Bible study. You don't want access to the library. You don't want to have community with the people after this. You just want to enjoy the party. And if that's you, or if it's just you because you just need a smaller financial step, we're creating that. Now that will stay open. And what do you get? You get the Monday morning lives, all the fun and the foolery, sometimes 2 hours worth on a Monday morning, think morning radio show. And I would love to have you join us because the chat is always fire. And that may give you a taste of the inner circle if you're not sure that you want to commit. But the doors to those other levels will close January the 8th. So that's the inner circle. Now there are people, y'all, that with all the stuff I put out, they still want more. And I have decided in this year coming up that I'm going to my plans are to offer 2 coaching cohorts. Now, I've offered coaching cohorts before where other teachers, other friends of mine, other coaches, other encouragers, other leaders in the sister circle, they have had coaching cohorts where it's a group of 12 and you get access, time, and attention. But I've never done one. So this year I'm going to do one, and there are only 12 spots. This is going to be the first one I'm going to do is going to be focused on leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, but those who are like, I need to focus. I want to get my plans together, my goals together. I want to get unstuck, and I want Chrystal to help give me direction on building a team, clarifying your vision, communicating correctly, dealing with confidence, knowing who you are in conflict, knowing who you are as a leader, and making sure that the goals that you're setting are actually coming to pass. There's nothing like having someone walk along with you in the details of your life. And I want to do that, but I can only do that for a small group of people. My coaching cohort will be a 4-month cohort that starts mid-January, that ends at the end of April, that includes a lot of fun things, bi-weekly meetings, teachings, and also an end of cohort 1-day in-person event. There will be an opportunity to have direct access to me in a walkie-talkie app that I love to use, and to also have access to other coaches who are intent on helping you grow. This cohort requires an application. I want to make sure that like-minded women are in the room, and the application is going to go out via email. So you want to make sure you're on my email list if you're not already. To join, you just go to crystalevanshurst.com, and right below my picture, you'll see where you can add your first name and your email. So there's the inner circle, and then there is the cohort. There's only room for 12. It is an investment for those who want to be intentional about connecting and moving the needle. Because what I can guarantee you is if I'm in your business, I can't make you do it, but there's something about having somebody that holds you accountable that makes you move things forward. And if that's you, I'd love for you to apply. Okay, y'all, we've talked about the podcast going on hiatus. We've talked about the inner circle changes, the intentionality, the growth, and the extra level. We've talked about the cohort. Let me talk to you about the planner. Now, if you've heard me talk about the planner before, then you're going to hear some of the same things, but here's what you need to know that's different. I'm going to be sharing, because this is a planner, but it's really a coaching tool. I'm going to be sharing to those who have purchased the planner weekly audios. So not only will you have quotes and questions from me to encourage you, guide you, direct you, and make you think. It's not the same thing every week, y'all. You get different questions, different quotes every week. But you're also going to have the ability to get downloads, audio downloads from me, so that when you start your week, you get an email. Hey girl, this is week 10 of the year. Here's what you need to know. How do I want to ask you this question? What do you need to marinate on? Don't forget that. So it's like having a Nike app running in your ear. But I'm really excited about that. The planner is all new and improved. There are 4 planners. There are 4 quarterly planners. You can buy just one at a time, or you can buy all 4 because when they're gone, they're gone. That's spiral bound. We also have a book bound version. It's kind of like a moleskin journal. They are yellow, they are in short supply, and you can only buy them in an annual bundle. But again, when they're gone, they're gone. People ask me all the time how I get things done. This planner is the answer to that. It's about focus. It's about paying attention to what's happening in your mind, but not forgetting to pay attention to what's in your heart and your body. So I want you to go to thesistercircle.com/planner so that you can grab your planner. Just get one if you want to try it out of the classic edition. If you've tried it out before, get it now while they're still there. And join me not only in the inner circle, but join me using your planner for the 90-day journey that we will be embarking on in the inner circle and even in the cohort. Those that are in the cohort simply get more time and attention from me, but we're all using the same system. We're all using the same tool. All right, y'all, we've talked about the podcast. We've talked about the inner circle. We've talked about the cohort. We've talked about the planner. Here's the most fun part. And I'm most excited about this because it's coming and it's coming soon. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or if you can get to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, January the 5th and the 6th, we're having a live in-person event. It's going to be a mixture of live podcast recording and networking and challenging and teaching and worship. It's going to be different than it was last year and even better. So in order to register for that event, you need to go to thesistercircle.com/live to register or to get more information. You're going to hear from my friends, but it's going to be fun because it's interview style, and sitting on the couch with Chrissy is where we want to be. A word from me and an opportunity for you to connect with other people in person. If you are an inner circle member, you are automatically my VIP. Not only do you get better seating, but you also have the opportunity to attend an inner circle only VIP session. I would love for you to begin the year with me. For those who want to come to the Sister Circle Live event and want to plan their year with me, you can come earlier for the summit. And that's where I spend a whole day with you, walking you through how to identify what you want out of life and what you want to shift in your life, change in your life, build in your life, but creating a plan. So when you start the year, you're not still dreaming or thinking or processing. It's done. You know what your next steps are. That's a part of the live experience, but it is an additional fee and an additional day. So you can check all that out at thesistercircle.com/live. Last thing, if you are desirous of connecting with me, you want to learn, but you also want to work, you want to contribute, you want to be a part of our team, we are still accepting applications for interns on December the 9th. The doors for that closes for 2024. So you simply go to crystalevanshurst.com/interns. It is an unpaid internship. However, what I have found is that so many of the interns that have worked with us have either gone on to work with us directly in a different capacity, or they have found other opportunities to grow and to learn. My goal is to share what we know to help you grow and to give you an opportunity to volunteer and give back in the process. Y'all, that's just a taste of what's coming this year. But here's what you need to understand. This year, whether you are listening to the podcast, watching on YouTube, whether you join the inner circle, the core levels, or simply show up and go to the club, whether you apply for the business leadership entrepreneurial cohort, or you are working in your planner on your own, whether you come to the Sister Circle Live event, or whether you fill out an application for an internship, there's a lot we have going on. But the reason why I have a lot going on is because I, like never before, want to, in 2024, have a laser focused vision and approach to what really matters for me to leave my legacy on this earth. I want to die empty. There is a book that I have, and there's a podcast where the gentleman was talking about just the creator's heart and the artistic way. And when you are a person of words or a person of song or a person of art, how you have to continually put that content into the world because that's what actually gives you life and gives life to others. And he would always say, I want to make sure I die empty. I want to leave it all on the table. And yes, I'm talking to my children and mentoring and discipling my children, and I'm mentoring, discipling, and connecting with women in my church. But what I do here is this is an overflowing portion of what I want to share with you. And if you have nary a dime, you could spend weeks binging on this channel, and my prayer would be that your life is changed because of it. If you want to support what I do or simply want the exchange, I want the information, Chrystal. I want more from you, Chrystal. I want to come to an event and have fun with my girlfriends. Give me the tool. We have ways that not only you will be blessed, but also you support. If you have never had a moment before in your life where you felt like it's time for me to build, well, this is me telling you it's time. Brick by brick, step by step, it's time. It's time for you to binge the YouTube videos or read the book. It's time for you to go to church consistently or study the Bible. It's time for you to have those hard conversations and to let some people go and to let some people in. It is time for you to ask for that promotion on your job. It is time for you to have that conversation with your spouse. It's time for you to set that boundary with those friends or with those loved ones. It's time for you to look at your body and be realistic about what's happening to it. It's time for you to look at your mind and to look at what it takes for you to be strong so that you can move forward. You can look at all of those things, but if you try to do them all at once, you will be overwhelmed and you will fail. We weren't designed to build a million things at once. You may have different tracks going, but you should be able to look at each single one of them and say, what's the next step? What's the next brick? And I am committed in 2024 to laying out the stone wall, the brick wall with you. It's my privilege and my pleasure to do what I do. I'm grateful every single day that I get to support my family, make a living, but also fulfill my calling in teaching you what I know. Sometimes it's a little fun and foolery. Sometimes it's very serious. But in either case, just know that you being here and even listening to the length of this message is a part of the fulfillment of my calling, of me showing up and doing what I'm asked to do. So as we make shifts in the coming year, and there are some smaller things I haven't yet told you about, I just wanted to make sure that before I kind of disappear for the month, that you know what to expect, that you know what's going to change, that you know what we're adding, and you know where we're subtracting. But the goal for me is to help you, support you, living with intentionality. If you haven't started thinking about 2024, well, I won't say you're late, but it's time. You should be thinking about what went well this year, what didn't, what you hope for next year, what you hope does not happen. You should be asking yourself hard questions and leading with the answers that flow out of the rivers of your heart. Why? Because if you don't take the time to pay attention to what your life needs brick by brick, you'll live, you'll pass time, but you'll also waste it. So all of these things we do, they're already in motion so that I can support you as you live your life and then support you as you write about your life, write it down, make your goals, making it plain, Habakkuk 2:2 says, that you are able to execute in your life, that you don't just talk about the thing, you do the thing. And then my goal is that you would reach down because of the concept of the sister circle. Because if you're a woman of faith, you're in the sister circle. And look for somebody else behind you who can learn. Yes, to the cohort and the people that want me in a room where there's few of them. Yes, to the membership where they want the downloads of all that I have. But yes, to you if you're watching YouTube or listening to the podcast, because it's so important to me that you hear content that helps you live well. So thanks for joining me and listening to these announcements. I wanted to make sure you had it all in front of you. But let me just say that if the house of your life seems like it's falling apart or there's been a flood and there's been a lot of damage left in its wake, something's happened in your life that's been traumatic or an experience that's been challenging or an issue that won't go away and you're just like, oh my goodness. Let me just challenge you to focus on what can you give of your life that will bless someone else? What can you give in your life out of obedience to the Lord? And what can you give because you simply have it in your hands? Because if you have it in your hands, what are you waiting for? If God has already given it to you, you should be willing to give it away. I want you to look at what you have and offer it and just say, God, listen, what I have, you can use it. Show me how you want to use it. And what I can guarantee you is that if you're willing to be used, God won't just use you. He will build his kingdom on you. So while you're laying bricks, he's looking at your development and seeing that you're a part of the wall. I want you to build. I want you to build with intentionality. And I want you to build so that your wall, the fabric of your existence, where you fit in this earth, that when you leave here, the brick doesn't move because you left a legacy. But you have to do that intentionally. And I'm looking forward to doing that with you in 2024. All right, y'all. See you soon.